Hi everyone, welcome back to Venkat Gola Lectures. Let's now talk about a stratified epithelial tissue. The stratified epithelium or epithelial tissue, it is a compound epithelium. It's a compound epithelium or multi-layered epithelium. Multi-layered epithelium consists of many layers. That means consists of many layers. The deeper layers or the deepest layer of epithelial tissue, the deepest layer of epithelium is lining with containing consists of cells, either cuboidal cells, cuboidal or columnar cells. Cuboidal or columnar cells, the living cells, these are living cells. And these cuboidal cells, the columnar cells, this layer is called a stratum, germinatum, or you can say germinative layer, or is also known as a stratum malpighi. Stratum malpighi. That means here, so for example, this is a basement membrane. Because this is epithelial tissue is lying upon the basement membrane, and in this epithelial tissue, the basement membrane, the deeper layers of the cells, cuboidal, deeper layers of the cell is consist of cuboidal cells or columnar cells. The most of the cases involved in cuboidal cells. From there we can see these cuboidal cells, we can call it as germinatum or germinative cells. We can call it as germinative cells or layer, germinative layer. The cells of these, this is called basement membrane. The cells of this layer divide mitotically and form many cells. These many cells are arranged to form many layers above this germinatum. The middle layers of the cells or appears polyhedral or polygonal in shape, and also the living cells, And when in the case of what a superficial layer, superficial layers of the cells, they are flat. They are the flat and nucleus, flat with nucleus. This layer of cells we can call it as a squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium. So this is called squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelial layer. Now these are the middle layers of cells. These are called polyhedral. These are called middle layer. middle layers of cells, middle layer. So germinative layer is innermost layer, and middle is called polygonal polyhedral cells. They are called middle layer. Above is the superficial surface. That area we have the flat cells with nucleus. We can call it as squamous epithelium. And upon this, above this squamous epithelium, there is a horny-like substance, waterproof horny-like substance structures layer is called corneum, stratum corneum, or else we can say horny layer. This we can call it as horny layer. So the surface, the end of the layers of squamous epithelium, there is a waterproof like the layer is formed, that is called horny layer or stratum corneum, that will be seen little later in detail. Stratum, and this is about we can call it as stratified epithelium, and anyway this is lying upon the tissue. So what I mean to say here, stratum germinatum or stratum malfigi or germinative layer. So deepermost the cells in this layer, the cells in germinatum epithelial membrane layer is divided mitotically. It divides mitosis division. So division is mitosis, and form multiple layers So that multiple layers in the middle is called middle layer, and superficial is called squamous epithelium. And this specific character of this stratified epithelium is they have a high power of regeneration capacity. High power of regeneration capacity. Similarly, the same like a high power of repairing capacity. So they do have high power of regeneration and high power of repairing capacity of these a specific character of the stratified epithelium. I hope you understand that. Now the stratified epithelium is further divided into two types. It is divided into two types. Stratified epithelium or epithelial tissue is divided into two categories. Number one is called keratinized. Keratinized stratified epithelium. So another one is non-keratinized stratified epithelium. So non-keratinized stratified epithelium. Now let's see the keratinized stratified epithelium, a structure, a location, and its function. I hope you understand till then. Now let's see the what is stratified keratinized stratified squamous. Keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium. Similarly, this is non-keratinized stratified squamous. Squamous epithelium. Okay, and where the location of this stratified is commonly it is present in epidermis of the skin, buccal cavity, oral cavity, a buccal cavity or oral cavity, a pharynx, on tongue, the middle layer of anal canal, vagina, cervix. What are the location? That all location we'll see in detail. This keratinized stratified squamous, where it is located, and non-keratinized stratified squamous, where it is located. Now let's see the word keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Stratified epithelium, keratinized. Here the keratinized stratified squamous is more or less similar to this epithelium. Here in this case what happened? The outer. So as it is like a similar like what we said the similarity, I mean the characteristics of this epithelium same like here keratin, the outer layers of this outer layers of this keratinized stratified squamous epithelium is formed by the waterproof, it is to be developed as a waterproof jacket or waterproof layer due to form waterproof layer substance called keratin. Waterproof layer, a substance formed by the substance called a protein. This protein is called keratin. So keratin is the name of a protein. This protein is formed at the end of this squamous epithelial tissue. On surface of this squamous epithelial tissue, a hornified, waterproof, water-resistant, waterproof layer is formed. So keratin protein is formed. So this keratin is waterproof. And this process is called, formation of this keratin and the squamous epithelium is called keratinization. Keratinization, a process. So process is called keratinization. Now similarly the same, almost all the same like this a tissue. That means you can say, for example, this is a horny layer. This horny layer, this keratinized the protein from horny layer, or we can say stratum, or you can say stratum corneum. So stratum corneum is a waterproof and it prevents mechanical aberration. And this is the stratified, this is called corneal layer, think for a while. And below these the layers of cells, we said that we can call it as squamous epithelial tissue. This keratin, the corneum, it is a it's a dead cells. Well, in the middle is what living cells. This is a corneum, a stratum corneum, stratum corneum, and this is squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium. Below the layers are called these layers polygonal cells or polyhedral cells, multiple layers because it's a compound epithelium, multiple layers or multiple layered epithelium. So these are called multi-layers, the middle layers of the tissue, middle layers. So another one is the end part, we can call it as we said that on the basement membrane, the deeper layer is formed by deeper layers. The deepest layer of this tissue is living tissue. It is either a columnar epithelium or cuboidal epithelium. The cells in this layer divide mitotically and form many cells which form multiple layers. This is called stratum germinatum or germinative layer. So this is called stratum germinatum or germinative layer. Stratum germinatum. Stratum germinativum or germinal layer. So this is, and below this the layer, it is lie upon as we learnt there is epithelial tissue, it is lie upon another tissue, this upon another tissue is called as this tissue is called upon another tissue, this is called basement membrane, a basement layer or basement membrane. So basement membrane. So deepermost is cuboidal cells called stratum germinatum or germinal layer or stratum malpighi. As it lie upon another tissue, we can call it as basement membrane. And the middle of this, above this, it is having germinating capacity, dividing mitotically and form many layers. These are the living cells, the polygonal or polyhedral in shape. This is commonly called middle layer, polyhedral in shape, and the living cells. So this is about stratified, keratinized. This is keratinized, stratified, squamous. So keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. The topmost layer is stratum corneum. This is the dead cells. These are the dead cells. And horny layer. This is also called a horny layer. Horny layer or dead cells. And below these stratified, flat cells are there with the nucleus, which we can call as squamous epithelium. And below these are called middle layer. These layers are called middle layer. This is what the deepermost layer. The deepest layer is called stratum germinatum or stratum malpighi. Alright, so this is about the description of this stratified keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. So keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, its outer layer of this stratified keratinized squamous epithelium is formed by a substance called keratin. Is a protein which is a waterproof. It is not allowed water impermeable. It is a water impermeable. I mean, this keratin is a water impermeable. So water impermeable. So, and this is formed by the process. The process is called keratinization. And so that it form a layer called horny layer or stratum corneum. These are the dead cells. These stratum corneum, these are the dead cells. And below these middle layers are living cells. And then what is the deepermost is a germinating layer. This is formed by either cuboidal, so most of the cases cuboidal. And in certain cases we can see that columnar epithelium also, which lie upon basement membrane. Now location. So location of this tissue, location. So location of stratified squamous epithelium. Of this keratinized stratified epithelium, it is present epidermis of the skin. Epidermis of the skin, nails, horns, feathers. So it present in epidermis of the skin, nails, horns and feathers. Because this is keratinized stratified epithelium. And now coming to the functions, as we said that the tissue which we discussed, by the time we need to see three things are most important. The structure of the tissue, the location of the tissue and functions of the tissue. And what does it do? What does it do for our body? Functions. So functions of this keratinized stratified epithelium is, it is a water resistant to the water, resistant. So resistant to the water, so it acts as a waterproof. This water is impermeable, and also protect the mechanical abrasion. So mechanical abrasion and act as resistant to the water, so water is impermeable. These are the two specific functions of these keratinized stratified squamous epithelial tissue. See, on the surface of skin, it present at the epidermis of the skin, so water is not allowed inside. As well as nails, so it's not entry of water into inside. And horns, similarly horns, you know this, and feathers. So it prevents, it's a waterproof jacket. It acts as a waterproof jacket. And also for mechanical abrasions. These are about the functions of this keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Now let's see the what non-keratinized squamous epithelium. So another one is called non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. As the name tells us, non-keratinized. Here no keratin, so does not have keratin protein. No keratin protein. As the name tells us. And this non-keratinized protein is non-keratin is absent. As a result, it is not check the waterproof, not check water absorption, or else we can say that keratin. Now this non-keratinized stratified squamous is similar to as it is this is non-keratinized squamous. It lies on the basement membrane. Deeper layer is called germinative layer or stratum germinatum, and these are cuboidal cells that divide. The cells are divided mitotically and form many layers. Middle layers of the cells are called polygonal. These are called polygonal cells. Polygonal cells. Above there is the superficial, the flat shaped cells with nucleus form, which we can call it as squamous epithelium. On this, what is there here? This horny layer will not be. So this horny layer, it is not present. So because it is non-keratinized, so horny layer is not being found. So it's not formed. So that is called it as non-keratinized squamous epithelium. The location of this non-keratinized, where does the location? The location of this, it is most often seen in buccal cavity or oral cavity. Very important, they will ask you the locations: oral cavity or buccal cavity. A tongue, pharynx, esophagus, middle part of or middle canal of middle part of anal canal, anal canal, middle part of anal canal, middle part of anal canal. Also been found in vagina, cervix, the lower part of uterus, and also present in the lower part of urethra, lower part of urethra. A very important point is cornea of the eye, cornea and conjunctiva. So these are the what locations. So non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium been found in oral cavity or buccal cavity, tongue, pharynx, esophagus, middle part of the anal canal, vagina, cervix, the lower part of the uterus. That means lower part of uterus, lower part of urethra, and cornea and conjunctiva. Now let us see the functions. What are the functions of these functions of non-keratinized squamous epithelium? The functions not like keratinized, because it will be formed because these cells having high generation power. As we told you the earlier, stratified epithelium having high power of remarkable power of regeneration. That is why the buccal cavity, as and when we drink hot water or else hot tea or hot coffee, some layers of this in the buccal cavity arises. That will be healed, reform again within a couple of hours. So that is a high power of regeneration, and it's mainly a protection of so parts where it is located. So the main function is a protection. So that is about non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. I hope you all understand about this non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. So stratified epithelium is of two types: keratinized stratified squamous, non-keratinized stratified squamous. Keratinized stratified squamous found in epidermis of the skin, nails, feathers, horns, and non-keratin that contains what keratin is a protein, and non-keratinized stratified epithelium, it is the location, as we said, that oral cavity, buccal cavity, tongue, pharynx, esophagus, middle part of anal canal, vagina, cervix, lower part of cornea and conjunctiva. And the protection is, function is protection. I hope you all understand this. If you like this video, please share and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Thank you for watching.